Hello, my friends.
Hi.
Welcome to Star Wars Transmissions. Your boy Dan, and with me we got my favorite homegirl, Dani.
Hi.
And get this nice where I want it to be. And so I guess I should say unsurprisingly, because I knew D23 was happening today. I didn't realize that we were going to be getting some trailers. I hoped that we were going to be getting some trailers. And man, we got some goddamn trailers. So we've got some things to discuss for
Feel-
today.
I was gonna say I feel like I was so out of the loop completely. I forgot the D23 was going on.
Yeah, I had it on my radar for things that were happening, and I knew we were going to be getting some news and some exciting stuff. I was hoping for trailers, and yeah, didn't let me down. I don't know. I stayed up a little bit later than I would have liked last night watching Game of Thrones. So I was kind of out of it earlier, and then I saw that we got the trailer for Mandalorian season 3 and Tales of the Jedi, which, man, both look freaking dope.
All right, I know we should have talked about this beforehand. Did you also see that there was another Andor trailer?
Yes, I did see
Okay.
that. Yeah, and I figured we did a whole, like, what was it, 40 something minute breakdown of the
Too long.
teaser trailer. So I figured, you know what? We've already broke down that trailer. Andor's coming in like a little less than 2 weeks now, a week and a half. Let's talk about Tales of the Jedi and Mandalorian season 3. So I want to first start with Mandalorian season 3 because it's dropping 2023, and I'm wondering if it's going to be dropping at the beginning of the year.
I mean, that would be my guess and my hope with if they're doing it now. I mean, it's still September. I mean, if we could get a new show in January, February, how cool would that be?
That would be great. I mean, it seems like Disney's main focus right now is just pumping out content for Disney Plus. I've been reading stuff that apparently the Bad Batch is still coming out soon. I don't know. Maybe that's going to be something that'll be announced either later today at D23 or maybe tomorrow. But I think we're going to be getting the Bad Batch at some point this fall. Maybe Visions. And then that would potentially lead into the Mandalorian starting at the beginning of the year, whether it's January, February, maybe March. That would be my thought, is we're going to be seeing Mandalorian sometime at the beginning of the year, maybe around the beginning of fall. But either way, super freaking excited for it.
Before you start, I just want to say I really love that the Mandalorian, like, whatever logo, whatever it is. It's
So dope.
so beautiful.
It looks awesome.
When I saw it, I was like, ooh, I am a sucker for anything teal. I need this on a shirt
Well,
immediately.
They've been different each season,
Yeah.
and I think this is the first time Grogu is in the lettering, right?
I know, he's so cute.
Din and Grogu. It looks awesome. I love that they do this. So yeah, I agree. It looks great. I love the colors. So let's start off the trailers opening up, and we get a little bit of summation of kind of where Din's story was left off, or at least his journey towards becoming the Mandalorian, where it left off with the Book of Boba Fett and his conversation with the armorer. And I'm going to have you talk about it because while I was preparing for the stream, you watched at least part of the episode from the Book of Boba Fett where Din is speaking to the armorer, and he reveals to her that he did remove his helmet in front of someone else and what he has to do.
So at this point, and we had kind of mentioned before, like, he is going to be probably going to his new mission, the living waters underneath the mines of Mandalore, which Mando or Din believes that the mines are destroyed. That's at least the story, is that they're gone. No more. So he's kind of thinking he's on a fool's errand. So we'll see. I mean, obviously as we go through this trailer, there was a lot of stuff going on. a lot of exciting things happening. So I think that's going to be probably the main mission throughout this.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen the mines of Mandalore before.
No, because they're supposedly destroyed.
And my thought when watching this trailer was that this was going the trailer is setting up for Din to basically start off his journey in season 3 of following the instructions of the armorer. That's going to bring him to Mandalore. And then during that process, he's going to cross paths with Bo-Katan, who we see in the trailer, like midway through or so. And I think she's going to be an adversary of his for this season, at least in part. They may be, but at the bare minimum, butting heads because she wants to be the ruler of Mandalore. She wants to help restore Mandalore to the glory that she thinks it should be at.
Absolutely. And now with Mando with the Darksaber, yeah, that's gonna be Bo-Katan is gonna be a little upset.
And we get the armorer talking about Din and Grogu being a clan of two. So in the Book of Boba Fett, we saw that Din was with Luke training, or excuse me, not Din, Grogu was with Luke training, but things weren't going as well as Luke would have liked. And so he gave Grogu the option of continuing to train with him or going back to Din, and Grogu chose Din, which, of course. And so now Grogu and Din are back together again. And I mean, just seeing Grogu in the little like astromech port of Din's starship is so dope.
It was so cute. I also want, when I was doing that little rewatch, I thought it was interesting. They were just talking about how in their cult, I'm sorry, the Children of Mandalore, I can always forget.
The Children of the Watch.
Children of the Watch, thank you. They were talking about how they're always about attachment and loyalty, where poor little Grogu was with Luke and the Jedi, and they're really about the detachment and separation and not having that attachment to others to hone in on their skills. So it's kind of, I don't know, just thinking about the reflection between what Grogu has known and how he has had that detachment for 50 plus years, and now he's kind of dejecting that so he can have that attachment with the one person that he's really been able to form a connection with.
That's an excellent point, right? It's almost like these two opposing viewpoints, right? And that could absolutely be, at least in part, an explanation why Grogu chose Din. He, for 50 years of his life, maybe not 50 years, because we know he was a part of the Jedi Order, so at least some part of that 50 years was him at the Jedi Temple on Coruscant and training to become a Jedi. But for a decent amount of time of his life, he had to live by himself and survive and figure out a way to survive. We still don't know how the hell he survived that period between Order 66 and when Din finds him. And that's a great point, right? He's lived alone or has had to be a clan of one. And then Din, he comes into Din's possession, and now he's got that person that he can connect to and form that bond and attachment with. Of course, yeah. Why would he not choose Clan Mudhorn, bro? That's an excellent point.
And I mean, even when he was at the temple, if he's being trained in the Jedi way, it's that thought process of detachment, not making connections with people, or having those not having those deep connections as a Jedi. And I guess Grogu went back with Luke, and he's like, yeah, this isn't for me, bro.
Plus, who would not want to get around in a floating eggshell? I forget, what is this thing called? It's like, what do they call it for?
Carrot? No, it's not a carriage.
I can't remember. But who wouldn't want to just like float around instead of having to walk, especially considering our boy just like kind of like frog leaps to get to and fro and
Little
slow. His
legs.
little legs.
No, he frog leaps when Luke is with him, and he kind of just pushes him along.
Oh yeah, that's right. He kind of like waddles along. That's right. That's right.
Guy.
So yeah, of course. Yeah. So you bring up excellent points. He's attached to Din, but I'm gonna say also it's part of because he wants to travel in his little like eggshell thingy. And so yeah, right. We touched on this. Bo-Katan, especially. I thought that this image here was to show, yeah, there is a storm brewing between Bo-Katan and Din. Maybe it's not going to be as bad as I think it will be. Maybe this is to symbolize the destruction of Mandalore. But my thought with the reason why in the trailer we're seeing Bo-Katan standing behind a window and clearly there's a storm is to signify that she's going to be an adversary, or maybe she's going through some turmoil. There's going to be Bo-Katan's going to be in for a rocky ride, I think, in season 3, in one way or another.
I agree. Things are not looking super sunny in her outlook right now.
No, not at all. And I'm excited for that. I mean, Bo-Katan is a great character, but let's not forget, she was a terrorist. She was a terrorist during the days of the Clone Wars when she was a part of Death Watch. She did kind of like sort of become more of a benevolent character, I guess, when we start to see her helping Ahsoka towards the end of the Clone Wars with the Siege of Mandalore, or I should say Ahsoka helping her, and then in Rebels, her fighting to save Mandalore from the yoke of the Empire. But yeah, let's not forget, she's kind of had a shady history.
Absolutely. And I feel like ultimately what Bo-Katan does, it's going to benefit her as well, which I think makes her a really awesome, interesting character. But I also want to point out, it's not like Din is the best either. He's technically a cultist.
Yeah. A cultist bounty hunter, right? So yeah. And you bring up a good point, right? And that's part of the reason why I do like Bo-Katan's character so much is her character isn't so much as black and white in terms of good or evil. There's some gray mixed in there, which I appreciate and I like.
Absolutely. A character with complexities.
Yeah, she's not just a one-dimensional character. And I like that we're going to be able to, we've gotten to see that in The Mandalorian. We're going to continue to see that in The Mandalorian. And yeah, I definitely think that the trailer is setting up this way. And damn, I wish I didn't take a screenshot of it, but there's the scene where Din, get to it. So Din walks down this hallway into, it looks like the palace, and I'm in Sundari, but we see here, Sundari's destroyed. That's the dome of Sundari that has been destroyed, and we saw that in Book of Boba Fett. We got the flashbacks of the Night of a Thousand Tears, but this kind of looks like the palace that we saw Satine in during the Clone Wars. But nevertheless, you see Din walking down this hallway, and at the end of it is Bo-Katan, and she's sitting very much how Maul sat during the Siege of Mandalore.
That's exactly what I was thinking too when I just watched this again. I was like, "Ooh, I am." Oh, Bo, you're playing with fire here, girl.
Damn, I couldn't. I wanted to get a screenshot of it, but it looked like crap. So, but yeah, and again, that is 100% purposeful, right? There's no way Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni, and those responsible for season 3 are going to have Bo-Katan sitting in this throne, pretty much mirroring how Maul sat in the throne in Sundari during the Siege of Mandalore in the final episodes of the Clone Wars. That is absolutely supposed to be to signify she's probably going to be an adversary to Din.
I'm so excited for this season.
Do you think so? All right, so we're in agreement, in at least some way, shape, or form, Bo-Katan's going to be an adversary to Din, right?
I think so. I don't think it's going to maybe come off that way at the beginning, but I think you're going to see a rift grow between the two of them as the season goes on.
I agree. And that was basically, you answered my question. I was going to ask, do you think it's going to be right out of the gate, they're going to be adversarial? And I agree with you. I think what we're going to see is a buildup of tension between these two that will probably boil over at some point.
Absolutely. And I mean, all of this, I think, stems from Din has Darksaber. This is like what Bo has wanted. Like, she wants to rule over Mandalore. And I think in her mind, she absolutely needs the Darksaber to do this.
100%, right? Because the last time and we saw this, right? When Din beat Moff Gideon and obtained the saber, he went to give it to Bo-Katan and she wouldn't take it because she knows the last time she was given the Darksaber without having to win it, which is Mandalorian culture, right? You have to win someone in combat to be able to wield the Darksaber. The last time she took it without earning it through combat was in season 4 of Rebels, I believe, right? Ahsoka, was it Ahsoka that had given? No, it was Sabine. Sabine. Yeah, it was Sabine. Sabine Wren that gave Bo-Katan the Darksaber, hoping that she would be able to unite the various houses and clans of Mandalore so that they could all come together to fight the Empire. And how did that turn out? Like that, bro.
Well.
not very well. Night of 1,000 Tears soon came and destroyed Mandalore. So she knows, hey, I can't just take this Darksaber. I've got to earn it. I've got to acquire it by defeating my enemy who has it.
And at this point, I feel like she's going to stoke that I feel like she's going to be an instigator. She's going to stoke that rift because, again, she knows what she needs to get or what she thinks she needs to get in order to be successful in uniting Mandalore. So I think she's going to work on growing that rift so can have that battle with Din.
Yeah, I agree. Let me reset this. Messed this up before, so I want to get my anal ass. But I agree. I think she's going to have to earn it by defeating a combatant, by defeating Din, which I wonder if the finale of the season could be her and Din going toe to toe.
That'd be cool.
That would be cool. That would be something I'd be interested in seeing. But one thing I just want to touch on really quickly is I love that we get shots of other Mandalorians and we hear Bo-Katan talking to Din about like your cult. She believes the Death Watch or the Children of the Watch, at least in part, are to blame for the destruction of Mandalore. So I don't know if I'm assuming these Mandalorians that we see here are supposed to be Mandalorians who are a part of the cult, the Children of the Watch, but I'm not entirely sure. But man, dude, every time I see Mandalorians, I'm like, yo, I want to make a Mandalorian cosplay outfit so goddamn bad. The dope, like, look how dope do these three, and Din included, look right here.
I know they looked awesome, and I was really excited to see. Like we haven't seen, at least not that I can recall, like Mandalorians with these color schemes, and I think it's cool to kind of see, like even in Rebels and Clone Wars, or they were not necessarily like white and orange, but it's kind of cool to see like the hodgepodge armor together.
Typically, I'm just trying to remember.
They were usually like their clan colors.
Yes, because you saw it more in Rebels, and I'm just trying. It's been so long since I've watched the episode where Ahsoka Bo-Katan gets the Darksaber from Sabine, because in that shot you see all the various houses, and I'm pretty sure, just like you were saying, that their armor matches the colors of their houses or
There
their
was
clans.
red. There was clan. Yeah, Ren. That was like a gold
Breeze,
and
yep.
yeah,
So yeah,
yellow.
but yeah, I mean, even just like, and you know me, I'm not the biggest fan of white. How dope do those two helmets look?
They do, but they pale in comparison to Din's.
I mean, Din's is pretty sweet, but
I have a dumb question.
yeah.
Is that what you're seeing? So the people are not seeing the whole screenshot? I'm being such a weirdo right now. I'm like, am I breaking the fourth wall? I don't know.
Here, let's see if I can move this over. Yeah. So you see, we got this one. Got this. They kind of, their helmets kind of look like Bo-Katan's, like that night owl style. The two on the left, they've got that like the night owl looking. Let me see.
And I almost like the two on the left look like they might be females, and then the person on the right might be a male. So I'm just like looking at their breastplates and their armor. Like maybe it's more in fashion to have like that night owl on the left for women. And
Yeah, that's a good point. Let me see if I
across for men.
can. Let me see if I can get a shot of what episode was it that the night
Right.
owls were
I'm
in.
really going off.
No, I
kilter
mean,
here.
I think that's a good point. I do think that they're supposed to be women. That would be my thought. Like, here's an image from season 2 of.
So far, my theory is standing.
Yeah, season 2 of Mando, and I can't remember this character's name. She's played by that wrestler, who's the female wrestler whose name I can't remember either, but female. So yeah, I think you might be right. I think these characters here could be female, but not all. I don't believe all female Mandalorians will have that specific style of helmet. But my thought is that those would be females.
Either way, doesn't matter. They all look dope.
They do, dude. And like I said, every time I see them, I'm just like, man, I need to make a Mandalorian cosplay. So Sundari destroyed, which breaks my heart. Oh, I mean, seeing this the Night of a Thousand Tears in the Book of Boba Fett was just like, holy crap. But now seeing the aftermath of what Mandalore looks like, whew, that's going to be something else. And you said he's right. The armor told Din he needs to go to
the living waters underneath the mines of Mandalore.
So we're going to be seeing more of Mandalore outside of just Sundari. We're going to be getting moments where Din is going to be traversing Mandalore, and you know, the at this point of the story, which is going to be taking place around 9 or 10 ABY, the thought is that the Empire, after the Night of Thousand Tears, or because of the Night of the Thousand Tears, just decimated Mandalore and turned it to glass. I believe Boba Fett tells Din in season 2 of The Mandalorian that the Empire turned Mandalore to glass. So it's pretty. The thought is that it's unoccupied, and one theory is that this could be like headquarters, or at least where the Imperial remnant is being housed, or a big part of that. With some people suggesting even maybe Thrawn could be there, which that would be great if we start to see kind of maybe that the rumor of Mandalore being completely destroyed, it's not as bad as people think. But yeah, we're going to be getting to see Din traversing and traveling through Mandalore, and we're going to get to see how that planet is after the Night of the Thousand Tears decimated the planet. Getting a shot of I'm assuming this is Din feeding Grogu, but or was it the armor speaking to Grogu? I can't remember now. Either way, just his little ears. I saw this. I was like, he's so damn cute. Those little ears, man. I just want to like tickle his little ears every time I see them.
Oh my God, give him a little ear rub.
They also his ears remind me of Butter's ears too. Our dog Butters.
Of course. So Grogu deserves a little ear rub. Who doesn't deserve a little ear rub?
And I thought this was really cool. I couldn't tell what planet this is. I wonder if this is the colony that Din was living on when members of Death Watch found him, because you could see the Death Watch sigil or symbol, I should say, right there on the shoulder of that Mandalorian.
Good eye.
That this has to be a flashback. And my thought is that maybe we're seeing more of the story of how the Children of the Watch kind of came about from Death Watch. That would be my thought, is that we're going to be seeing a telling of how Death Watch transitioned and slowly became the Children of the Watch.
That sounds cool.
Right?
That sounds really fun.
That's my thought, right? Because I mean, clearly that's Death Watch's symbol. So that's my thought, is that that's what we're going to be seeing this season.
If we saw little baby Din, again,
well, part of me wondered, like, could this be Din here? Could that be Din? And we're seeing him as a member of Death Watch before he became, or before Death Watch became Children of the Watch. I don't know. But like I said, this also kind of looks like, and I'm totally drawing a blank on the name of the colony. I know the name. Can't remember it right now, that Din was found on. But yeah, my thought is that we're going to be seeing the story of how Death Watch transformed into Children of the Watch.
Yeah, that would be really interesting.
Yeah,
I like it.
I love that sort of stuff. Give me more of the nerdy lore. Give me more of information of Children of the Watch. All about it. We get our boy Grief Karga.
Oh, he's
looking regal.
I was going to say spiffy, but yeah, regal is much.
Looking majestic in that outfit.
He is earning those. What is the flan?
The Mon Calamari flan. So I'm wondering if this is Navarro.
It is. Man, they have
he's
really,
done wonders to it.
He's really turned it around.
From the last time we saw it. But yeah, I Carl Weathers is the man. I love that Carl Weathers has been a part of the show. He's so fantastic. And I loved just seeing him looking opulent and regal and just balling out with that outfit. Of course he's going to ball out. Our dude, he likes to, it kind of like Lando. Got an excellent sense of style, and he's going to play the part of was he the administrator? What was his title? I can't remember. But yeah, just looking regal. But I wonder if, because we see him here look like some sort of bandits or thugs, this is probably going to bring Din back to this planet. My thought is this is probably going to be like episode 1, episode 2 of Din traveling back to the planet and him speaking with Grief. He'll probably help out with whomever these thugs are that are getting into Grief's craw.
He looks very worried here.
Yeah, there was some Niktos. I'm trying to think what else. But yeah, definitely some like bandits or thugs that are messing things up. So that's my thought on how Din is going to wind up meeting up with Grief again. And then our girl, Pelimato.
I know. I was so excited when I saw Peli and Grogu.
She's great. I'm so glad that we're seeing that she's going to be back for season 3. She's such a great character. I wonder what's going to be bringing Din back to Tatooine, or if is the season going to start off like right where Book of Boba Fett ended, and we're seeing the end of that like battle that took place there, and that's why he's on Tatooine speaking to Peli, and then the season's going to go from there.
I think that makes sense.
Yeah.
Not that, I mean, we've seen a lot of Tatooine.
Yeah, let's get away from Tatooine. I've seen enough of the planet. Let's move on to some new places. But that's my thought, is that the season could begin with Din right after that battle in the finale of the Book of Boba Fett, and that's why he's speaking to Peli. Dude, our boy Babu Frick.
Oh my gosh, I like, as soon as he came on the trailer, I like turned to you and was like, oh my god.
So pumped. So pumped when I saw him. Great character. Say what you want about The Rise of Skywalker. Babu Frick was fantastic, and I'm so happy that we're going to get to see him. And then this shot I thought was so dope of Grogu witnessing the Lightspeed tunnel, because yeah, it is memorizing, and of course a youngling would be memorized by it, especially if you're in that little astromech dome.
Oh, he's so cute. Mesmerized. Like,
Let's now move on and talk about, get that centered, Tales of the Jedi, which I'm freaking pumped about. So it's going to be 6 short stories. This is dropping at the end of October, which, holy crap, I had no clue we were going to be getting this so soon. It's going to be from the creators of the Clone Wars and the Bad Batch, and it's got that same art style. I'm excited about this. My thought is, because we see the stories are going to be focusing in on Ahsoka and Mace, is we're going to get 3 stories for each character. And that's dope.
yeah, I'm really excited. I kind of forgot about this show, so shame on me. But man, watching the trailer today, I was really psyched.
This first shot here of Padme. Oh,
Yeah, I am currently actually finishing the trilogy by E.K. Johnson, the Padme Amidala trilogy. So it was like, oh God, this is just hit where it hurt.
yes. I mean, anytime you get to see Padme's death, it's always a bummer. We got this this shot of Dooku in the courtyard of the Jedi Temple on Coruscant, which I appreciated. Just, getting to see Coruscant again is always awesome. And we get baby Ahsoka, freaking baby Ahsoka on her homeworld.
So cute.
And at one point later on in the trailer, you see her riding this creature. So I wonder if, I'm assuming she uses the Force to connect with it. That's why we see her riding the beast, and that's my guess what makes the elders or her parents of her village or whatever say that she's, she'll be a Jedi.
Yeah, this saber-toothed tiger-esque creature looks really cool, and just got little baby Ahsoka.
I love that we're gonna get to see the story of Ahsoka and how she joined the Jedi.
Yeah, I'm really pumped. Anything Ahsoka is amazing.
Because it's Plo Koon finds Ahsoka on, oh my God, I'm like, this is a good reason why I should not stay up so late. I can't remember the name, the homeworld of the Togruta. Shrilly? I think it's Shrilly. Plo Koon finds her on that planet, and that's how she winds up becoming a part of the Jedi Order, because he takes her back to the Jedi Temple. So that's dope that we get to see her getting to join the Jedi.
Oh my gosh, look at that baby.
Little baby Ahsoka. And her markings, like, they're not, I guess with the Togruta, your markings kind of develop as you age, become more prominent, which that makes sense, right?
Yeah, I mean, she doesn't have her head tails or anything. Those are going to grow, and I feel like the markings are going to grow with her.
That's
so
cool.
Cute.
I like that. That's a very cool touch. And we get to see her training, and at this point, I noticed she does not have 2 lightsabers yet. She's only got 1 lightsaber, at least when we're seeing her. And this very much reminded me of the scene in the Siege of Mandalore, where she's on yep, and the clone troopers are shooting her. Definitely not something I wanted to be thinking about, but it totally reminded me that and bummed me out, of course.
Same here. And I'm wondering, I mean, I'm going to go with that was probably intentional too, to kind of get you to make that connection.
I think so. Right. And we see that here, right? There's Rex there, our homeboy Rex. And I do think that, like you said, I think we're supposed to be getting that connection, or connecting the dots of being reminded of Order 66, which sucks. And I mean, being reminded of Order 66 is never fun.
Oh, absolutely not. But I mean, I know in the trailer, they kind of show how they went. It sounds like they go through this drill a bunch of times.
Yeah.
So to kind of like see how she was having issues with this drill, and I know she has the 1 lightsaber at this point. And then thinking, okay, at least she was successful when she needed to be. Maybe she was when in the Order 66 when that happens in that episode in the Clone Wars. Thinking back to this her
Yeah.
training at that point.
I like too that, you know, she doesn't have a second lightsaber. It is in Force of Destiny that we learn she was sparring with Yoda at one point, and Yoda, she was mimicking Anakin's lightsaber style, and Yoda basically said, you know, you need to be yourself, and she wound up using two lightsabers, and I'm happy that we're seeing her with just one lightsaber at this point. I think that's really cool.
Also, as a side note, I just want to say that Ahsoka's style evolves so much during her time frame. I'm just going back to like this is one of her worst outfits. I'm throwing that out there.
Oh well,
I know
it's not as bad as her like in
her
the
original?
crop top.
Oh, I don't know. There's some side skin going on. Is that
There is, but if you see, she's still like she's
That's
got the
true.
like it covers her. I mean, the crop top one is I don't know who okayed that design.
Yeah, that's the worst.
Basically, just
The
cover
tube top.
Is that what it is?
It's
Tube
not
top
even a crop top. It's a tube top.
Basically, just covering her boobies.
Well, again, her fashion choices have definitely evolved as she has aged.
I like this design. I think it's fun. It's very reminiscent. You know, it makes sense, right? Because you see her outfits evolve, and you can see how in the Siege of Mandalore arc, similar to this kind of outfit, and I like that you see that evolution of her, in her outfit, and that's, you know, signifying the evolution of that character and her growth as an individual and a Jedi, which is cool. Our boy Dooku, you know, I've made some videos of Dooku, and there's very minimal images of Dooku as a Jedi, as a younger Jedi. Most of the images in canon of Dooku are him as an older man. There's a few where he's maybe middle-aged, but it's funny because people comment, because I don't have a lot of videos to use when I'm talking about his time images to use when I'm talking about his time during the Jedi as a Jedi, not as an old man, maybe more as a middle-aged man. There's not many images that I could use, so I got to use the few images in canon where he's got a blue lightsaber. It's still him looking old as hell. So at least now I'll get some new images I can use when I'm making Count Dooku videos where he looks younger.
You know, this was exciting to see him a younger man.
Oh yeah. What up, Brian? Barb's Basement, Dooku looking kind of like a baddie though. Yeah. We're getting at least two of the stories that we saw here is Dooku with our boy Qui-Gon, which hell freaking yeah. You see him there. Let's see him there, and some sort of trouble is happening on a planet that warrants the Jedi to get involved. Maybe a civil war or something. Can't tell you what planet this is on. Don't know the conflict. But we're seeing, my thought is, because then we see Dooku with Mace, and it looks to be a similar sort of situation. There's some sort of conflict on a planet, and again, it looks like maybe it's almost like a civil war type of conflict. And my thought is we're going to see mirroring situations and how Dooku handles each of those situations and how they differ, and how this image here is clearly Dooku looking older, how he's probably going to handle it a little bit more. What's the word I don't want to say bad or malevolent, but kind of like sketchy, doing some sketchy things to get the results that he wants. So yeah, and I think that, you know, that'll
Ruthless?
be yes, right. And I think that's going to be purposeful, right? We want to see his descent into the dark side, or him realizing, hey, I'm a badass, bro. I want more power, and I do agree that yeah, he's looking a little baddie in these scenes. And we at one point you hear Mace yell to Dooku, "That's not how we do this," or, you know, enough, something along those lines.
Which it will mirror Anakin in the future, yeah?
Yeah, that's a very good point. The devil, or His
uh, di-
descent.
into his morals, or
Yeah.
seeing his morals devolve.
I want to go back to the shot quickly because I think it's so dope that we're going to be getting young Qui-Gon. He's another character we don't get a ton of stories of young Qui-Gon before the Phantom Menace. There's some stuff in the comics in the Star Wars run. Was it Kieran Gillen's? I can't remember who did it before. Charles Soule. A little bit of Qui-Gon there, Master and Apprentice. But aside from that, I don't think there's a ton of Qui-Gon stories. There was also the Age of Republic, now that I'm thinking about a comic that's specifically Qui-Gon. But just getting to see young Qui-Gon as Count Dooku's apprentice, that's dope. I don't know if we've gotten anything in canon that specifically shows Count Dooku training Qui-Gon, which I'm super excited for. If there is, I can't recall.
Yeah, this will be fun to kind of see their relationship, especially like thinking about how different those two really are.
Yes, yeah. But I mean, I wonder if maybe what we'll see in part of this episode is the similarities between them, right? Because a lot of times you'll see how the master and the apprentice, the Jedi master and the Jedi apprentice, are very similar to each other, and how they handle things, their lightsabers. And I wonder if maybe like at the beginning of the short, we're going to see them be acting and doing things very similarly. But then maybe towards the end, we're going to start to see Dooku kind of do some things that, again, are sketchy or shady.
Yeah, I'm ready. Do you happen to know, or has there been any info about how long each of these episodes are going to be?
No, I hope they're longer than 30 minutes. I hope they're like 45 minutes. Bro, I mean, even if they're like an hour.
I mean, I know we're like shorts, using that term in quotation marks for like these episodes, but yeah, give me an hour episode. That'd be great.
Yeah. So my homeboy Brian from Barb's Basement, Dooku definitely seems to already be a Darksider in this. So I wonder how Qui-Gon grapples with that. That's a good point. Dooku is definitely in what we're seeing here, grappling with descending into the dark side, and how is Qui-Gon going to handle that? That's a great point. I'm sure there's going to be conflict in Qui-Gon and seeing his master do things that are probably going to be malevolent, questionable. And how is Qui-Gon going to handle that? I mean, the one thing about Qui-Gon that makes him so much of a badass and so awesome is he's not as dogmatic as the Jedi that we see in the days of the prequels. So maybe he might kind of like not think it's as big of a deal, but I do think he probably will think like, yeah, this is not cool.
Yeah, I can't believe he would be on board. Like you said, he's not as dogmatic, but I think he absolutely still has his moral code and wanting to do things well and in the light.
Liam Neeson, the episodes are confirmed to be 20 minutes each. If that is the case, I mean, hey, I'll take whatever I can get, but man, I was hoping they would be longer. Also, this shot here just reminds me, like, I've said this before, dude, the Jedi outfits in the prequel era are so lame. They're so like they dress like such bums. I love the High Republic era Jedi outfits. I love Luke's outfits. In the Return of the Jedi and after that, they're just so drab. The Jedi during the prequel era, their outfits, and I know that's purposeful. It's to show, right? They're again more dogmatic. They're not they're
the glitz and glamour of the High Republic.
Give me the High Republic outfits. Give me more badass looking outfits. Dani has heard me say this so many times. If we lived in the Star Wars universe, I would be a Jedi that dresses like a Sith. I would be wearing this like super scary looking mask. I'd be in all black. Give me cooler outfits. The Jedi during the prequel era dress like such bums.
The Jedi that thinks he's that thinks he's a Jedi. I'm not sure which way it would go yet.
Not that I think I'm a Sith, but I would dress like a Sith. That's how I would be.
Gotta fool them all.
So this is these people's outfits. I took the screenshot because it kind of reminded me of the like police force of the underworld of Coruscant. They're not the same, but they kind of look like that. And I wonder if maybe these are like, this is what inspired those outfits. But yeah, that's what this reminded me of. And this is, again, Qui-Gon and Dooku on whatever planet this is, dealing with whatever conflict. Then we get our boy Obi-Wan rocking
Mullet.
the mullet from
mullet cut.
Attack of the Clones. Love the mullet cut. And we also see in the background our homie right over here, Plo Koon.
Also, Yoda.
Well, yeah, Yoda, but it's, of course, my boy Yoda. But when I saw Plo Koon's lightsaber, I was like, oh my God, Plo Koon. So I'm assuming that's, hey, we've just brought Ahsoka back to the Jedi Temple. That's my thought. Because again, Plo Koon finds Ahsoka.
Oh my God, that'd be great.
Right? How cool would that? And it's Obi-Wan and Yoda there to greet little Ahsoka.
Gosh, if that's what happens, I will probably scream.
I know. You know how I feel about Yoda. Yoda's been my number one dog since I was a little kid. So any scenes we get with Yoda is always super special to me. And I'm assuming, that's my guess, is because we're seeing Plo Koon in the background here, is that's the moment when Ahsoka is brought to the Jedi Temple, which would be so awesome. Yeah, I'm pretty sure, Brian, that is the Liam Neeson. He joined our live stream out of excitement and was like, yeah, let's hit up Star Wars Transmission. They know what's up.
Confirm.
It is confirmed 100% to be Liam Neeson in our chat. So this shot intrigued me. Who dies? I do not know. But we get our boy Terrace Nube, which, oh my God, this broke my heart. Now that we know his fate after Order 66, we learned about that in Obi-Wan. Broke my damn heart. We get Saesee Tin. I can't tell who some of those other Jedi are. It looks like maybe Depa Billaba to Dooku's left, but not entirely sure. I don't see Mace there. I'm trying to think. I think there might have been in another shot Mace. But yeah, I thought this broke my heart seeing Terrace Nube, because I'm just like, oh my God. It just brought me back to when we see him in Obi-Wan, and I broke my freaking heart.
Yeah, it was sad. Although we did see also a shot of him training
with Ahsoka, right? Yeah, which was dope.
For instructing Ahsoka. I don't think he's not going to be out there unless he has to.
We get more of our boy Rex, and then freaking Yaddle, dude.
I definitely yelled, Yaddle!
You did.
It's like, oh my God.
Which I love. I love that we're getting Yaddle. And the first thing that came to my mind is Yoda talks like a freak. Because we learn in the High Republic, which was it? Was it the Fallen Star? I can't remember. One of the High Republic novels, we learn that Yaddle talks normal. Yaddle speaks not like a weirdo. Yoda speaks like a freak of nature.
Likes his riddles, okay? He likes to confuse people. He doesn't like to give them a straight answer. He is the ultimate supervisor.
So now, Liam Neeson, thanks, bro. I'm glad that you took time off of your busy filming schedule to join us. Mentioning this could be Qui-Gon's funeral, which, oh my God, that never even dawned on me.
So,
and Jesus Christ, that would be so freaking sad.
I'm going to say this because I did mention earlier I'm reading the Amidala novels trilogy. They mentioned that Qui-Gon in there was actually put on a pyre on Naboo.
Oh.
So, I mean, hey, I don't know. Maybe they're changing it. But I can't remember. I think it isn't Queen's Hope. I want to say it was in Queen's Shadow, but it could be Queen's Peril. I can't remember. They're blending together. But they did mention, because Padme talked about Qui-Gon being burned on a pyre and having all of the Jedi come for the funeral after.
And we've seen things, Bad Batch retconning like something like Depa Billaba's lightsaber color. Those little things, I'm so torn because I want, you want everything to be connected as much as possible. You don't want to retcon stuff, but at the same time, like seeing Qui-Gon's funeral, think about how impact that I haven't read that. Not I haven't read the Queen's Hope or Queen's Peril trilogy yet. Reading the moment of Qui-Gon's funeral would be heartbreaking, but seeing it, I think, would be on another level, and seeing it like this would probably be more impactful. That's the you walk on a fine line as a creator, right? You know, what's going to be more impactful? Do you want to change it? But I think that'd be the one thing. If it is Qui-Gon's funeral, I probably would be okay with that retcon, just because I think it would be more heartbreaking to see it versus reading it.
Oh no, I agree. I mean, they didn't go super in depth with it, but they did talk about how all these Jedis from across the galaxy came to Naboo, and I think it was like Obi-Wan and Padme were two of the only ones left at the end. But yeah, I mean, seeing it would be really impactful.
So Brian, Barb's Basement asked the real questions: are Yoda and Yaddle going to smash and lay an egg for Grogu or whatever? I mean, I'm pretty sure it's 100% confirmed, and Liam Neeson can back this up, that Yoda and Yaddle will 100% slap skins.
God, let's keep this as a family show, bro.
Booty cheeks will be clapped.
Oh my God.
And then, dude, the Inquisitor that Ahsoka winds up standing off against, which this I'm so excited for, because we saw this in the Ahsoka novel.
Yep. Oh, I'm excited.
So if you have not read the Ahsoka novel takes place a year after Order 66. Throughout like that time, Ahsoka wound up gathering various parts to make a lightsaber. She kind of was just gathering these parts, not 100% knowing what she was going to do with them, if she was going to use them for a lightsaber. And then throughout the course of the story, she winds up going to Ilum to get a kyber crystal, but she finds that the Empire is there mining the planet, stripping the planet of kyber crystals, and when we know that's eventually going to be for the Death Star. But at that point, kyber crystals, she gets they're calling from her, the kyber crystals in this Inquisitor's lightsaber. Basically, I think in the book it says they're singing to her, something like that, and it brings her back to the moon was called Ra'eda, I believe. And in the book, she and this Inquisitor face off, they fight, Ahsoka jacks them up, takes their kyber crystal, and she not cleans it, heals it. And that's how it has the white color that we see in Rebels. Sith and Darksiders, they bleed the kyber crystals. That's why their lightsabers are red. So they pour their pain and malice and hatred in it to basically hurt the kyber crystal so that it'll have that red hue. And what Ahsoka does, and what other Jedi as well do, is take a kyber crystal from a Sith or a Darksider, and then they heal it and purify it. But at that point, that purification process makes it white. And I'm so excited that we're going to get to see this in this show, because that is going to be an awesome scene. She jacks up the Inquisitor without a lightsaber. This dude's got a double-bladed lightsaber, or gal's got a double-bladed lightsaber, and Ahsoka jacks them up without one. Yes, I believe it was the sixth brother. And how sick is that mask? See, that going back to my Jedi outfit, I'd rock a mask like that. The Jedi Council would definitely scorn me for my outfit choice.
Sir, no, you can't.
You need
can't
to turn
look
it
like
down,
that.
bro. Tone it down, bro.
You're supposed to be one of the good ones.
So I'm super freaking excited for Tales of the Jedi. Super freaking excited for Mando Season 3. So damn excited for Andor. I am so excited for Andor. We touched on it briefly. Man, I've said this so many times. I put this in every single one of my video descriptions, the notes. What a time to be a Star Wars fan.
Yeah, I'm excited. I know we didn't talk about really Andor today, but I did watch the newest trailer and I'm like, oh my gosh, I have just hearing like people saying that they think it's going to be good, or like the people who maybe have seen an episode or two, or it just seems I'm really stoked. We've talked about how much we liked Rogue One. I'm pumped.
So yeah, I'm so freaking excited for Andor. Loved Rogue One. Now, Brian asked or mentions best Force user faction, Imperial Knights, because of their white lightsaber. So, Brian, I think I'm into issue 30 something, Star Wars Legacy, and I don't think there's been an explanation as to why the Imperial Knights have white lightsabers. Is there an explanation of that? If there is coming, don't spoil it for me. Just give me a yes if that's something that's explained. Because I love in the High Republic. What's the character's name? That has the double-bladed lightsaber that folds. She's got white saber. White. No. Oh, what the heck is her name? She's a Jedi Wayseeker, and I'm totally drawing a blank on her name right now. But I love that she's got double-bladed lightsabers that fold, and her lightsaber's white because she purified at least 1 or 2 kyber crystals for her saber. Totally, why I can't remember her name, but yeah, white. I love white kyber crystals. I have to say, I know some people don't like the idea of kyber crystals being bled. I think it's so much cooler than synthetic crystals. I love the idea of a Jedi, or excuse me, a Sith pouring their hate and pain into a kyber crystal that is living in a living thing in the Force, and that's what causes it to be red. I think that's so baller, so much cooler than synthetic crystals.
Yes. I just want to say I was on the right track. Her name is Orla.
Orla Jarini. Thank you.
I was close.
You were
close.
close.
Getting there.
All right. So I think that's a good spot to leave it off. I feel like we're stereotypical people in our 30s. We got to go to Home Depot today for our house. We got to do some things. We got to get our day going. But
her day going, Jesus,
it's
like 5 o'clock.
5 o'clock. we got to get some errands taken care of. But super excited. Moving forward, we're gonna be doing live streams from here on out. As long as there's shows that are gonna be airing, Dani Girl and I are gonna be discussing them. I'm gonna be doing live streams of probably pretty much me playing Halo.
That ain't gonna be me.
Either jacking people up or me getting jacked up in Halo. So from here on out, there will absolutely be at least 1 live stream per week, maybe 2, depending upon how things are going or how I'm feeling that week. So make sure to keep them eyes peeled for live streams that are going to be coming probably on Wednesdays as the shows are going to be dropping. But if we're going to have 2 shows dropping each week, we may have to think about alternative days that we're going to be doing live streams. But yeah, more live streams coming in the future, so make sure to keep those out. If your jabroni ass has not subscribed to the channel, bro, what you thinking? Get on it. I'm reading, so that's got to be a bot's comment. Don't know what the hell they're saying. But yeah, keep a lookout for our live streams. Subscribe to the channel. Follow the channel on TikTok. Star Wars Transmissions. It'd be greatly appreciated. And with that said, my friends, may the Force be with you